Alrighty, Tuesday, the 7th of June. Yes, visit Buddha City. All these doggone notifications. They're just a drag. Right when you want to do something. Okay, on the Westie 161, we had a serious problem with the socket of the 5AZ4. It was busted. I see why they decided to abandon this radio. Because apparently the tube would not go back in it or something, or it was bad, and either they or something broke the tube. I don't know how in the heck that happened, but the center post keyway was broken loose from the socket portion of the phenolic, if that's what this is. And so what I did was I drilled the rivets out of it, clipped all the pins at the socket so I can easily make the transfer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 5Y3 GT in it as a substitute with an old socket that I had from years ago. I have a newer ceramic socket there in the bags that I pull the pins out of for my power supplies, but the center to center mounting is slightly longer than the original. This one is, but this is exactly the same thing, and it will be it will allow for this octal. It'll go from a loctal to an octal, and we'll manage to get that one in there and get it transferred over, and then we can do a test light up of the chassis and see if there's any serious issues with it. I don't think there's going to be, other than the typical, the bad resistors and the bad electrolytics. This thing has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 E-caps in it. Ooh, a Sprague exploder. So we're going to go ahead and get this mounted up in it and see if we can get it. It's getting pretty warm out here. Today we'll probably hit 100 first day this year. So stay tuned. There will be more segments coming. Okay, on to this Westie chassis. We finally got the bench cleared up enough to where we can get this big sucker up here and get it checked out. Now, originally, I hooked this thing up with the dim bulbs and everything, and with the we changed the socket. That's what we did. First thing, we changed the socket to an octal from a loctal, and stuck a 5Y3 GT in it for the power tube, the rectifier tube, and from a 5AZ4 rectifier tube. They're essentially the same thing. One's a loctal and the other one's a loctal. Octal, loctal, octal, loctal. Okay, the 6L6, I think it's a GC. It appears to be doing okay. The last one I had of this had a little buzz in it. I don't know what it's from, but the last chassis that I had one of these in had an issue with it. 7A6 is original. The BA6s, I had to wind up contributing those. This one here does not have a shield for it. I'm going to have to dig one up. This one here does. It's J6. It's an original. What I did was I brought it up on dim bulbs, and they didn't. I mean, it didn't do nothing. I mean, not a peep, not nothing. We had high voltage, but that's all we had. We didn't get any response out of it. Anything on anything, any setting. So I turned it up, swapped out all the E-caps in it, and brought it back up, and this is what you see now. We're on 2 dim bulbs. We're pulling 58, 580, 580 calicams. The speaker is speaking. So is emergency vehicles. And we're getting a response now. So I'm going to go ahead and take it through its paces and see. I got it on a long wire. I don't have it on its original antennas. They're laying over there in the shelf. And I don't feel like stringing them up all over the place to get a response out of it. I just gator clipped my long wire onto the AM input, antenna input. So here we go. We're in the AM. All of their policies are for underserved communities. No, it's really gnarly audio. You wanted to do that, right? So of American Marxism. We're going to take it over to the FM band. I need to clip this back over to the FM terminal there. Hopefully that will work out all right. We'll turn that up and we'll go back. Now this is we got something comes through, but it's really low. I mean, a low. Like, I mean, it's lower than Brandon's numbers. But there's something there. So we're checking out, okay, and it looks like we're going to be this is going to be a great candidate. we need to go through now and shotgun the caps, and I think that'll correct a lot of issues. And then we'll clean up the chassis and clean up the other parts and everything. Parts is parts. And the cabinet is already put back to, well, not put back together. I mean, I've got all of the individual pieces sanded down and ready for pre-stain. So we're going to be doing that also in between after getting the caps done on this, and we do the little bathing of the chassis and everything, getting it all cleaned up and finished off, and then we're going to go back over to the cabinet and get that done. And then while we're in between, we're going to take care of that speaker mount and get the speaker cleaned up, and then everything will be coming up rosy. So stay tuned, we'll have more.